Warm greetings to everybody. My name is Kristóf Fenyvesi. I work in the Finnish Institute for Educational Research in the University of Jyväskylä. Welcome to the Steambox course. This session will be about good practices in STEAM in everyday learning, and we will talk about the mathematics and art connections, and I will recommend you practice to combine mathematics and art in your school, in your learning environment, on a very simple way, but with very interesting outcomes. The International Math Art exhibits. This is our first unit in this topic. I will tell the background of these exhibits, and also we will open up in the session that how you can also realize a math art exhibit in your school, and how you can join the international community of mathematics and art exhibits. So recently, a wonderful collection has been appeared. It's a collection by Leonard Sommer. He collected almost 100 practices of creative education around the world. And this is the title of his book, How to Foster Creativity in 21st Century Education. And as you can see, there are several images which are combining art and mathematics on a very special way. So this math art practice, which I will introduce you in this session, has been also selected as a creative practice in this collection called the Classroom Think Tank. There were also other scientific publications, other research has been done about these mathematics and art connections. These are two books where there are further background materials about this combination and these projects. And there is one special place, South Africa, in the Nelson Mandela University, where this mathematics and art combination grown into a national movement, so that actually many hundreds of South African schools are joined to the call made by Nelson Mandela University, and they are creating art and mathematics exhibitions in their schools, and also collecting these works made by children, made by students, and they also have wonderful programs around these projects, and these projects also contribute a lot to the transformation of the South African mathematics and science curriculum into connected curriculum with arts and humanities, and they use these math art projects to have a transition, a transformation towards STEAM education in South Africa. You can see some of the works made by South African children. Their goal was to tell something important about their experience, their various experiences in connection with mathematics in a visual way, in the language of visual arts. And you can see that some students grasped the joy of learning mathematics, and also the mathematical discoveries and also scientific discoveries, how mathematics contribute to the deeper understanding of the world around us, and also how technological transformation is affecting our life, and what's the role of computation systems, patterns in this transformation. So you can see that there are various approaches, and also various symbolisms of mathematics are appearing in these works. So this approach has been initiated by a colleague of mine, John Arden Higley, who was a painter in New York City, and together with his wife, Dominic Higley, they run a mathematics and art kindergarten in New York. And we decided to make a global call for children, to invite them to express their opinions, their impressions in connection with mathematics and mathematics learning. And we wanted to support also teachers with these methods, because the children are not only making these math art works, but they also interpret it in a short passage, in a short description. So they also need to go deep and also form opinions on a deeper level about what they wanted to express, and how these sort of transdisciplinary pieces born during this creative process. So when John Higley unfortunately passed away some years ago, we decided to continue this tradition, and now we are growing the Higley collection of children and youth mathematical art, and we are inviting the pieces year by year to this international collection. So we see that these exhibits, these calls are motivating and engaging children and teachers into various mathematics and art combination activities. So not only creating these artworks, but there are many further activities and many further math art events are taking place around this project. So we have seen a very interesting transformational role of this project. And what is also important to mention, that this project is a so-called low threshold project, which means that there are very few equipment, or even not any equipment is needed to enter into this program. So children only need to have paper and some colors available, and the creative process can be started. So no any expensive materials need to be purchased. So we also collect these artworks, and we try to find the opportunities to introduce these collections all around the world. And we use also international conferences to realize these exhibits. And we also encourage the schools that they organize their local exhibitions in their own corridors, and using the walls of the classrooms, so, and the halls. So this is possible on many levels, but many countries, like you see on this picture in Serbia, for example, they also managed to reach real art galleries and shown the pieces in an art environment. So you can see on the map our South African partner's location, and this is an outline of the South African project, which is a very good example of how to organize these math art exhibits. You can take a look more in the presentation material that what are their goals, so that you can use it as an example if you want. And you can also see on these images the photos of these related math art events, which are combined with the engagement process. So mathematics and art teachers are joining forces in this program, and they together support the children with different inspirational events also to introduce this idea of connection making. And here you can see the first exhibits, so-called winners, because in South Africa they also organize this event as a competition for prizes. And you can also see that how we took the South African pieces to Sweden in the framework of the Bridges Conference. This is the world largest art and mathematics conference. So you can also see some topics here for our cause, for the cause what we made. So mathematics and art connections in nature, mathematics and art connections in my life, mathematics and art connections in the universe. So you can give such topics, or in health, in a healthy life, or in many fields of life. You can think where you are looking for the opinions of children, and you want to make them think that how these two fields are combined. There is also a system to understand these works, and we can also encourage children to think also about what they have created and why they created. So we ask an explanation of the artwork, explanation of the math content, and then explanation of the combination of the two fields. And also different questions can be made to support the reflection process, both by the children and also by the teachers, to contribute to this process, to the learning impact of this program. You can see some of the pieces, more closer look. You can also see from the presentation that not only the bright side of the story is highlighted, so there are many very important opinions coming up when you have such a call. So for example, this young person performed all the skills in his work what's needed to design a wonderful sports car. You can see also many formula in the background, and it's worth to know that these formulas are not part of the curriculum, of the official curriculum of this young person, but he's very interested in car design, and he wanted to get deep into that, and you can see that he has all skills for that. But still in the description he mentions that in these subjects which are needed to have this transdisciplinary project realized, such as designing a car where engineering, geometry and design need to merge, actually he don't get the needed support and the needed background in these fields in his school, and he's also facing with the probability that he might never be a car designer because of the limitations of the social system and the educational system in his context. So as you can see, there are also very deep critical aspects can be opened up with this approach. So this is definitely very important. Also, there are many styles, there are many cultural impacts, which part of the youth culture. So you can see the manga culture, very popular among the youth, is used here by this student, and she also talks about mathematics as an ambiguous little demon which captivates her and which also show that invites her to explore the hidden secrets of the world. And you can see that how, for example, the number lines are used to show the growth of the hair, and many details. You can read what she wrote about this piece, who created it. Or here, another beautiful piece. It's a very strong statement that mathematics is coming from Africa, and this African student made very deep connections between the origins of mathematical thinking and the African cultural context. It's also something you can read. Or the pure joy of mathematics, and you can pay attention also to the little details, like the hair of this figure made up from different geometrical objects. Or here also a critical opinion, that you can see a super creative, super talented artists, young artists work, who also depicting the stressed Vitruvian Man. So the Vitruvian Man is this very famous art piece from Leonardo da Vinci, with the person inscribed into a circle with stretched out hands. And here you can see the completely opposite posture, the completely opposite character here, who is actually stressed from not so creative and not so good mathematics teaching in his school. So this is also, again, very improving for mathematics and art teachers to read about this and see these experiences and think about how to make a better maths education for these talented young persons. Or here, another statement, this Ndebele is a name of a tribe in South Africa, and you can see their beautiful houses, their beautiful huts decorated with amazing mathematical, geometrical patterns. And these students make a very strong statement that the members of this tribe, or the people from this culture, are actually living inside mathematics. They have a mathematical knowledge, what they express in their everyday beautiful artistic context where they are living. And this also made a strong impact on this student. And you can see some members of our international research team who contribute to this program. So let's have a look of the connections between art and mathematics. So there is a book about these connections, Aesthetics of Interdisciplinarity. You can check it out. And you can also think about these projects based on how to provide motivation and engagement, how to enrich education, and how to enhance these multidisciplinary connections and impact to the learning. So you can also see that in this combination, art is not only a vehicle for better mathematics learning, but also an integrative and transformative element in this STEAM context to to make learning more creative and more engaging, more motivating for the students. You can also read more in this slides about our mathematics and art methodology, which is in the background, the pedagogical background of these projects. I don't really go into details in this video. You can read it, and you can also think about how to map these complex ideas when you start to discuss them, maybe with your colleagues or maybe with the students, to explore and how to use this as a content of mathematics learning, and how many layers of each of these artworks have. So we also had a method to map these ideas, and also to see these many layers. So, for example, this artwork is depicted in this map of concepts. But these approaches can be also used to start new math art activities. So this piece, this Nadebele piece, Nadebele topic piece, was inspired, for example, youth workers to create their own fantasy, imaginary, geometrically decorated houses, and also to reflect to their own work and how to use this approach in youth work projects, in hands-on workshops with young people, also maybe coming from distant cultures to another countries, and how to reflect also on the youth work as a context for these people. So there are more theoretical material which you can check out if you want to start such a project. You can read all these details in the presentation file. And now I would like to thank you for your attention. And if you want to join this international community of math art combinations, and this collective of researchers and teachers who are engaging children through artworks, then please write me an email to christoph.fenyvesi@jyu.fi, and we can get into touch. Thank you a lot for your attention.